In the annals of modern history, few struggles have commanded as much attention and controversy as the war on drugs. With its roots tracing back to the early 20th century, this battle has been waged across continents, affecting countless lives and reshaping entire nations. Today, we journey through the epicenter of this conflict, exploring the rise of powerful cartels and the unyielding efforts of law enforcement agencies to curb their influence. Our story begins in the early 1900s when the temperance movement in the United States sparked the initial flames of drug regulation. Opium, cocaine, and their derivatives were becoming increasingly popular, leading to the first anti-drug laws. Yet the real battlefront emerged in the latter half of the century. By the 1910s, drug addiction was unraveling the social fabric of many American communities, prompting President Richard Nixon to formally declare a penicillin war on drugs in 1971. This move marked the beginning of a global campaign, one that would see billions of dollars spent and countless strategies deployed in a bid to eradicate the drug trade. As the United States ramped up its anti-drug efforts, a formidable opponent emerged to challenge them: the drug cartels. Born out of economic need and fueled by insatiable demand, cartels rose to power primarily in Latin America. The Medellin and Cali cartels, hailing from Colombia, became synonymous with the cocaine trade. At their peak, these organizations wielded power akin to sovereign states, controlling supply routes and engaging in violent turf wars to safeguard their empires. Their leaders, like the infamous Pablo Escobar, became legends in their own right, known for their audacity and brutality. In response, the United States intensified its efforts, not only domestically, but also beyond its borders. The Reagan administration in the 1980s saw a surge in military and financial aid to Latin American countries fighting against drug production and smuggling. This era witnessed the rise of sophisticated operations, such as Plan Colombia, which sought to dismantle major trafficking organizations through a combination of aerial eradication of coca fields and military interventions. Yet, the relentless pursuit of cartels did not come without significant costs. The impacts were severe on both sides. For the cartels, law enforcement pressure led to fragmentation and diversification. While prominent groups were dismantled, new players emerged to fill the void, spreading the trafficking networks further. For law enforcement, the efforts were often marred by corruption and human rights abuses. Entire communities in producing countries suffered from violence and instability as collateral damage in this ongoing war. The turn of the millennium saw a shift in the battlefield. Mexican cartels, seizing the opportunity left by their Colombian counterparts' decline, rapidly ascended. Organizations like the Sinaloa and Zetas cartels became the new faces of the drug trade, often outmatching both predecessor cartels and law enforcement agencies in terms of brutality and reach. The infamous kingpin strategy, aimed at capturing or killing cartel leaders, proved to be a double-edged sword. While it led to significant arrests and eliminations, it also resulted in less predictable and more violent splinter groups. Today, as we reflect on decades of this turbulent conflict, the question remains: has the war on drugs been won, or even can it be? Many argue that the focus on enforcement rather than public health has only exacerbated the problem. Some nations are now experimenting with decriminalization and regulation as alternative strategies. Portugal and Uruguay, for instance, have adopted such approaches with varying degrees of success, suggesting that rethinking traditional policy frameworks might lead to more sustainable solutions. In conclusion, the history of the war on drugs is a complex and multifaceted tale of power, resilience, and unintended consequences. While the world remains far from a definitive resolution, the ongoing dialogue, informed by past experiences, offers hope for more humane and effective strategies. As we continue to grapple with this perennial challenge, understanding its history is crucial to navigating its future. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of a conflict that has shaped our world in profound ways.